Today's episode is going to be diving into, like Gary said, all about Games Week. We got the online portion, and that's going to, we're going to dive into each workout. We're going to talk about who we think is going to do well at these workouts, and then who's going to move on. That's all in this episode of the Olympian Project. Was that your dance? What was that?
My hype call. Yeah, that's how I get hyped. But
Give me the camera. Give it to me. Give it to me. Okay.
It's weird because I can see myself in those glasses, and I can't see your eyes.
I want to throw you off today. That's a challenge.
It's like I'm talking to myself, basically.
Hopefully not. That would be boring. I've got to bring all this pizzazz today.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. So we've got a couple questions. Hopefully we're going to answer throughout today's podcast video. But let's go right into it. The athletes are going to be performing at their gym or at home, wherever they have all this equipment that the list they put out, Dave Castro put out. And they're going to be, there's blocks. They have to do these in a certain time frame as well, right? They have, I think it's 3-hour windows. So like the first 2 workouts are going to be one block of 3 hours, and then the next 2, and then on Saturday there's 2 different blocks as well.
This is, I mean, if you've seen the workouts already, you know what's coming to these this is weird. It's a different programming than we've ever seen because it's all familiar. It's all familiar, but also not really. Yeah,
I would agree, because also when we first see an online release of workouts from games.crossfit.com, what's the first thing you think about? Like, to me, it's like, it's natural reaction to think like open. Like, this is what happens. Like, CrossFit Games or games.crossfit.com releases workouts, and it looks like this. But these aren't for your normal gym goers, right? This is for people. This is in the games. This is not to get to the games. This is already the games. We are starting the games this weekend. Now, there is another stage to get them to the ranch, but this is competing for the title right now. So, at first, I look at the workouts and I'm like, man, that's going to be tough for some people. But then I also think about it as a games perspective, and I'm like, man, that's not really gamesy, but it has to be done in their box. So, I don't know. We're going to dive into all that.
So, immediately to me, this is what I see. Okay?
Yeah, what do you think when you see this?
This is what I see. First, this is a similar kind of thing that's happening as last year, where they're cutting down to a certain amount of athletes before the winner is announced.
Right.
But if you look at the programming last year compared to this, look at the second event that we have, which is a 1-rep max front squat. So we're testing strength essentially right out of the gate on day 1. Okay.
Right.
Then on day 2, we test endurance
with the
1,000-meter row.
Yeah.
And then on day 3, we test a gymnastics / stamina or muscular endurance, I guess you could call it. And in between all these, we are testing CrossFit. This is how you get to cut people, I think. This is perfect.
Well, I don't think they would even be cutting this year if it wasn't for the pandemic.
That's true. I agree with that.
So they have to cut because they only want X amount of people at location.
But to me, this is going to get the top 5 from the men and women. In my opinion.
I agree.
Whereas if you take the first 6 events from last year, it wouldn't even been close to the top 5.
Yeah, which it didn't cut down to the top 5 after the first 6 events. But I get what you're saying. It was shedding because it had to as well. And again, I think you gotta consider, before we dive into all these workouts, you gotta consider that. The programmer, Dave Castro, is put in a situation where he has to think about what can we do at local affiliates and local gyms or garage gyms and stuff like that. This is not. I don't think you'd see a lot of these, and I don't want to talk about them specifically just yet. But I don't think you'd see a lot of the stuff at the games.
No, I mean,
because he could have free range on whatever he wanted to do.
I feel like the row would probably be replaced with a run or a swim.
A swim, probably.
Typical games fashion.
Yeah. And we're not going to see a swim either, right? I don't think, unless he's going to move off the ranch. There's nowhere to swim there.
Yeah.
So we're not even going to see any of that
no
this year. Yeah. Nasty Nancy, and well, again, without diving too much into it, I could see something like that at the games, and it was kind of similar to the first day. Was it the second? It was the second workout, wasn't it? Where they ran. Was it snatches
Of
and
last
rope climbs?
year,
Snatches
yeah.
and rope
And
climbs.
then didn't it finish with a handstand walk or something?
No, maybe so, but it had the 185 snatch in there where people
Yeah.
were just devastated. So
Yeah.
that to me, Nasty Nancy, I could see that in the CrossFit Games, normal CrossFit Games, and I actually think the handstand hold is something that he probably would have done as well somewhere. But let's go from 1 to 6. We don't know 7 yet, but we do have a name for it, and we're gonna try to dive into that.
Is block 4? That's
another
Sunday.
workout.
That's Sunday.
No, Saturday. Let's look. Friday and Saturday.
Oh, okay. I see what it is.
It's just 2 days. Just 2 days. All right, so let's. We're gonna pull this up on the screen here, and actually give you a little visual of these workouts as we go along, and diving into not only the workouts, but who's going to perform on at these workouts pretty well, men and women. So we start off Friday. I don't have the exact time frame here. I want to say it's noon on Friday, but Friendly Fran.
Nope.
What do you think?
That's wrong. That's not the name.
It's not?
This is Freaky Fran.
Freaky Fran. Does anybody know a Fran, first of all? And let us know if they're freaks. So, Friendly Fran, 3 rounds, 21 thrusters, 21 chest to bar pull-ups, 85 pounds for the women, 115 pounds for the men. And I'm going to open this straight up to Gary. What's your thoughts?
Pretty much the same thought I have for the next 2. I saw this workout and immediately, like the 3 rounds, 21-21.
Mm-hmm.
It's more reps than Fran, and you're doing chest to bar pull-ups.
Right.
And then I saw that the weight is increased to 115.85.
Right.
I will not be doing this workout ever,
Right.
ever. And actually, that probably goes for the next 2 as well.
But I think, again, you're kind of thinking of this as an open release, right? So we got to think about the best of the best are going to be competing at this. What are your thoughts there? And then, you might even pull up the list of the leaderboard so you can look at some names on who you think is going to do well in this.
So, best of the best. I mean, that's like you're thinking the Fran times.
It's not a tough workout for this, right?
For what?
For the games. This is not a tough workout.
I think no. Well, here's the thing. I think they're all going to suck for everyone who's competing because this is their one chance to make it to the games. And they don't have, people to play off of. They can't play the field. You know what I mean? So they have to go 100% in every workout if they want a chance.
Yeah, they don't get to see. They don't get to see who's doing what.
Exactly.
But breaking down the workout. Like if I'm Matt Frazier or I'm anyone on this list, Travis Mayer, Jacob Hepner, Baden Brown, like some of these guys, like chest to bar pull-ups for these guys are really nothing. This whole workout is not tough. Now, okay, it is a heavier Fran, right? 115 from 95, but is that going to slow any one of these competitors down?
Honestly, I can't even imagine. I mean,
you got to get it out of your.
I don't think you're gonna see anyone go unbroken. There's no way. At least not all the way through.
You're only talking about 18 reps more than Fran on each movement. I think you will. I mean, we've seen workouts like this that had a lot more reps that went unbroken. I mean, I remember seeing Travis Williams like 4 years ago. It was like 50. It ended up being 150 or 200 wall balls, but in between you had 50 pull-ups, and it wasn't chest to bars, but it was pull-ups, and he was going unbroken 50 pull-ups every time. So
you're definitely going to see people go unbroken on the chest and bars.
I think you're going to see unbroken. I think you're going to see unbroken thrusters on this workout too. I think this is going to be comparable to gym CrossFit Fran times. So 3.5 minutes, under 5 minutes for sure. Yeah, under 5 minutes.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. That'll be a show for sure.
But again, look at games athletes. Think about games athletes here. Don't think about your partners in the gym right now.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to do because we don't see the games release on games.crossfit.com, and everybody can do these workouts. When we see the games, there's usually a twist to it. And you can't twist it right now.
Population.
Right. Yeah. So I think, yes, could me and you do this workout? Yes, and it would be terrible.
It would take us 15 minutes.
Did you see Eric Rosa did this workout? The new,
I did. I
the
didn't
games,
watch it. No.
the new CrossFit owner. He did it in about 8.5 minutes. And he's a smaller. It looks like a smaller athlete, and I think the chest to bars were probably his strength on this workout. Now the clip is more chopped up. It's not like the full workout, but I would imagine the weight was what got him a little bit on this. But he did it in 8 minutes. So sub 5 for games athletes. I think that's for both men and women.
Yeah, and I mean we both know how Fran is. It's a short person's workout, a short and fast person's workout, and I think Frazier might take first in this first event.
I was going to say the same thing. I think Noah Olson's going to have a really good shot at this workout.
Yeah, he'll do good too.
Chandler Smith, I think, is going to have a really good chance.
Brent Fikowski is going to have a tough time with this one.
Pat Vellner are going to struggle a little bit.
What is Vellner a taller guy?
They're pretty similar. He's just a bigger guy. He's a little bit broader guy. Roy Gamboa's in here. He's not. I think he's actually. If I was to pick a sleeper, I'm going to say, Gamboa would be a possible sleeper on this workout. 5'8", 190 guy, and he's a go guy. Cole Sager, I think, and Tim Paulson both kind of struggle on this workout as well. And again, like I said, the bigger athletes probably are trying to keep within the middle of the pack here.
I think another one I think is going to do pretty good here is Jacob Hebner.
Yes.
I think he's going to crush this workout.
And I was actually listening, if you ever catch it, Talking Elite Fitness, this is very similar to some of the open workouts. I think it was 19.3. It had chest to bars and thrusters, and you can kind of look and see who did well in that open, and might give you a little telltale sign of who does well in this one here. But, I mean, I don't think this is a separation workout. When we say Matt Frazier or maybe now I'm losing my mind here, Noah Olson or Chandler Smith or any of these one of these guys, they're going to finish say 4:30 or 3:45 or something like that. And I think Pat Vellner and all them, the taller athletes that are really good, are still going to be 20, 30, 40 seconds maybe behind them. So I don't know if there's an athlete that will finish over 5 minutes on this workout.
Okay. So, and on the women's side, this is Toomey's workout for sure. This is her workout.
Carrie Pierce is, I think, somebody that could push it though.
Yeah, we saw how she did. She can gymnastics.
Flow. She can flow through those chest to bars.
She weighs like 37 ounces. So.
Yeah, Kristen Holte would be another one that I'm interested to see. And then I was looking up this athlete, Melina Rodriguez from Argentina, has just steadily improved every year. And so I'm curious to see how she holds up on this one. But again, if we're picking first to 20th, I don't think there's a huge discrepancy in time in this one. And so it's just a good start to the games, I think. It's a good competitive start to the games.
Yeah. All right, and then after that, within 3 hours, they have 3 hours.
Both of the workouts, to
do a 1-rep max front squat.
Yeah.
After Freaky Fran.
All those thrusters. Now you got to go test it. Look, I think the positive here is it's just a 1-rep max is the one big positive.
So if you kind of know where your 1-rep max is going into the weekend, which it's going to be a big advantage.
Most of them do, though. Most of them have an idea. You don't get to the games not knowing what your strengths are.
Yeah, but
like what your lifts are.
With a recent test, because most of them have been through a conditioning cycle, most likely for the past few weeks.
True. Yeah.
So testing it.
But they got a goal.
A few days out.
Yeah, they got a goal. They got an idea, and it doesn't mean that that's what they're going to hit. But I think the positive here is that it's only 1 rep, and if it was a 7-rep. I think, a couple of years ago, teams did a 7-rep max. I've done competitions with 5-rep maxes. Those not only test that strength, but, man, your heart rate gets going crazy. And imagine that, like, 1 rep you can do a couple times. Like, you can go, I think I got more. A 5-rep or more, 3-rep even. Man, once you hit a good 3-rep, you could have done more, but do you have it left? That's the challenge, I think, sometimes. So 1 rep, I think they do have a benefit there from Fran.
The question is, what's the stipulation here? Is there a time frame that you have to hit this in?
Yeah, I think it was like a 20-minute cap. So I'm not seeing
minutes.
all the information on this. Maybe we can click on them. Yeah. So let's take 20-minute
here we go.
time
Oh,
cap.
okay, got you.
Oh, and here's the block. Okay, so this actually the first two workouts are 9 a.m. starting tomorrow to 12 p.m. on Friday. So that's cool. They're gonna have 20 minutes to establish that, and plenty of time. Again, they're gonna be dialed in enough to know about 20 to 30 pounds about where they're gonna be.
Yeah.
So but like you said, I think the flow so far gives you a really CrossFit-y workout, right? The first one, and then you get to test some strength. So right now, if a Pat Vellner or Brent Fikowski can get in the top 10 on the first workout, maybe some of these bigger athletes like a Pat Vellner has a good chance to do a pretty good lift here and be at the top of the leaderboard.
Well, okay, look at this right here. It says in the event. Well, go back.
Sorry.
In the event of a tie, the lighter athlete with the same successful lift will be placed above the higher athlete. Has it always been like that?
Based on your body weight?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't.
That's just in the event of a tie.
I think the reason why they're doing that, one, there's not as many events leading into this, so you got 7 scores.
Yeah.
You need to get something done there, and then another reason would be like during the competition. Usually, you see people what they lift, and now you go try to beat them. So I don't, you could accidentally tie here quite a bit, right? Like Matt Frazier, when he even said afterwards he should have put the 2.5s on or whatever, and I think he ended up tying overhead squat or whatever. They have that opportunity live. They don't have the opportunity at home. So that's the first block. It's friendly Fran and 1 rep max front squat. Okay, we didn't talk about athletes who's going to perform well on this. I mean, obviously you're stronger athletes.
Yeah, this is a given one. I mean, let's go men's division. So I actually don't see a lot
There's going to be a couple of athletes, I think, that perform well on friendly Fran that won't perform as well on the front squat, right? I mean, that's generally. So, again, the bigger lifters are going to come through on the front squat.
Vellner's going to do good here. Tim Paulson's a pretty strong guy, right?
Yes. Yeah. And see, that's why Gamboa, I think this is my dark horse right now. The name pomps out to me. The guy is a grunt worker. He's pretty strong. He could have a decent front squat lift here. And
Gamboa is there at the bottom.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, he's the very bottom. He could have a pretty good friendly Fran. I feel like he will. And I think he's going to be cracking the top 10 after the first block on Friday. And that's kind of I don't know if a lot of people are talking about him. Now, can he endure the longevity of the weekend? That's something else. But block 1, I like that a lot. That name a lot.
Okay, moving on to block 2, which is another 3-hour period. This is a much more appropriate name, I think, for this workout.
Damn Diane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts at 3 p.m. on Friday, guys. So if you're checking in to watch these workouts, games.crossfit.com will have all that. I believe on YouTube as well, but I know for sure games.crossfit.com.
So, similar fashion to Fran, we have Damn Diane, which is instead of a 21:15.9 with Diane, and instead of being 21 for both reps across the whole time, it's 15.
Yeah.
But... big butt here. It's 315 pounds on the deadlift and strict deficit handstand push-ups. Same amount of reps, but way tougher work.
Right. 205 for the women, 2-inch deficit for the women. However, this is very open-y.
Well, we've seen Diane, a variance of Diane in the open before.
And just recently, we saw the 315 in the Diane. If you got to it.
If you got there, yeah.
If you got there. So it tastes a little bit like, I could do this, kind of. I could try it, but at the same time, that deficit for me would be really tough on this amount of reps.
Strict.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Like, if it was just a deficit, that would be tough.
Right.
But it's also strict. And it's the same amount of reps. That's the crazy thing.
Right.
45 reps still.
Yeah. No, so let's flip the switch. We go games athletes. We're thinking about games athletes. I think, again, this is not a real tough workout for games athletes. I think it's a fast one. Once again, I could be wrong, but I think this is, for most athletes, this is going to be punching around 5 minutes or less.
I got to say I love the programming. I mean, I loved Fran and I love Diane, but this is going to get the top 5. In both of these workouts, you're testing cardiovascular endurance in a push and pull, and 2 different push and pull movements. Like this, I love this workout.
Yeah, I think
I love this program.
This one will separate more than Friendly Fran. Friendly Fran is like, welcome to the games. Who wants to bleed their lungs the most? Yeah. And everybody's going to say me because I want to go to the games. And then everybody's going to be pretty good there.
Yeah.
The front squat, strong's going to be strong, weak's going to be weak. But then you get to this workout, and you got to have a level of strength, and you got to have a level of, bleed out the lungs. And the strategy there is no strategy. It's just go with strength and speed. So I think this one, though, you're going to see some athletes that aren't strong in this
There's
deficit.
There's going to be breaking up here, in the deadlifts at least.
I don't know about the top scores. Again, 315 for a games athlete, that's touching. I've been able to touch and go 315 in a workout.
15 reps.
No, right. And I'm not anywhere close to the games.
Like I'm thinking of people who are close to games level strength, or at least from what we've seen. In
500 pounds.
I'm talking like Nick.
Right. Games level strength.
Yeah, Nick, Kevin, and blanking another name.
Randy.
But, yeah. 315 for 15 reps. That's crazy. Well, and you're talking 3 rounds, like that's just.
Oh, it's going to be, but
I don't care how strong you are. That's a lot. That's going to be 75% for most people.
Yeah, true. Okay, take your 75% and kind of think about that. That's not the problem with this workout. It's not. You can go to singles at 315 for that kind of strength level. That'd be like me having, okay, so let's say 450 deadlift. Let's say 400 deadlift. 70% of that's 285. I'm going to be able to single my way through that if I had to. Okay, so these games athletes, which they're going to start off probably not singling, could go to that and still not lose a lot of time. Where I think athletes are going to struggle that are trying to fight into that bubble of the top 5, it's going to be the handstand push-ups. It's going to be the deficit, strict handstand push-ups, and there's no time cap if you notice there.
Yeah.
That's going to factor in later on. Mm-hmm. You sit there and do that workout for 10 minutes while some athletes are doing it for 5, and you still have another workout to do in like an hour and a half. I think that factors in.
I don't know if it factors in for the workout. We'll get to that in a minute, just because, it's such a fast one, but yeah.
The longer you got to work on a weakness, I mean, you're just burning more time, more energy.
I love Diane, and I think this is going to be a great test, and I can't wait to see how the leaderboard unfolds after this one.
If you had to pick a winner on this one, I had Gambo on the first one. You said Frazier. I also threw Olsen out there as a possibility. Well, who are you thinking on this workout? Let's go guys first.
I don't know.
A deadlift, right?
I don't know why Chandler Smith kind of stands out on this one.
I think he's going to do well this year. I mean, there's so far, I can see him compete. Now, you can't sleep on Matt Frazier on any of these, right? I just watched a documentary of him doing handstand push-ups and looking around like, who's going to catch me? So to say he's never a possibility of winning, but let's say Matt Frazier's crossed off the list. Mm-hmm. Who's the next person we think is going to win this?
I think it's going to be your stronger, smaller guys. Again, with this, this is another workout where tall, long guys are going to suffer here.
Right.
You got to move farther on the deadlift, and you got to move farther on the handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
Big disadvantage in these 2 workouts for people like that, and even in the front squat. Now, I think they're going to be able to make up some with this row. But
right. Until we get there, though.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, like you said, like Tim Paulson, really strong guy. How's he going to do upside down with a deficit strict? I love the fact that he gets to move the deadlift. He's 215.
He's 6'1", yeah.
Exactly. But he's got the weight to move the weight.
Yeah.
But then he's got to move the weight, meaning his own body weight.
I know Vellner has an insane deadlift. He's 5'11". I know he's strong overhead. Like, this could be his workout.
Right.
If he pushes it.
But I feel like I've seen him kind of struggle upside down before, too, though.
Yeah. I don't know. This is a tough one.
Yeah. I like the idea. I mean, Matt Frazier's going to be the top up there. I like the idea of a Chandler Smith. But if I was to take a dark horse, I kind of look at Samuel Quant. He's a little bit bigger, 5'11", 200. The 200 body weight's not extreme. He's got a little bit of length, okay, but that 200 pounds might help him move the barbell a little bit, and I feel as if he's going to be okay overhead. He was 15th in the world this year in the Open. That's going to be a possibility for me outside of Matt Fraser.
Samuel Quant.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched him compete.
Yeah, he's been around for a little bit. Gudmundsson is another guy that I always like, just coming out of nowhere and taking a workout, and I think he's designed a little bit for this one if he can handle the barbell for the 315 for that much.
Now, women.
Yeah.
My pick, I think Cara Saunders. Cara Saunders is built for this.
Now
workout.
she's coming back from, giving birth.
That's true. Yeah. See, I think Cara Saunders in her prime could take this workout pretty easily.
Right. I definitely agree with
true,
that. But
yeah,
what's her
about that.
training been like? And then, of course, everybody's been up in limbo with training. But I like that pick. Of course, Tia Toomey's. Again, I think Matt Fraser and Tia are always considered.
They have the perfect builds for CrossFit.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons they're so dominant.
You know who I kind of like in this workout is Haley Adams. I'm curious about her overhead, but I know she can move the barbell.
I don't think she can. She's
I think
weak.
she can move the deadlift.
She's just too weak right now. She was last year, at least.
That was in Olympic lifting. She showed that in, the clean. But I feel like she's just a strategic artist. And so sometimes that plays. She's strong enough, and she's good enough gymnastically. I'm curious. I'm not saying she's going to win it, but I'm curious. You got to start thinking top 5 finishes to be in the top 5. And she finished in the top 10 last year. I know we talked about the structure of the games wasn't exactly how we liked it, but she was up there, and she was competing. So I don't know if we can take her off the board there. And this is all CrossFit. So, I kind of like this idea of that she's just nice and steady. She's just steady all the time.
I'd give this one to Saunders in her prime. Another one I'll have my own is Barnhart. I know she's really strong.
Right.
Another
one I was thinking about on this one was Laura Horvath, and she's gonna be able to move the barbell.
She's strong. Yeah, that's true. I'm not sure.
She's kind of built for this.
I'm not sure about her overhead. I don't know what hers looks like.
She's been at the top of the game before, and then she kind of had a little bit of falling off. But, I think she's definitely built for this workout. I feel like she could be a favorite.
Yeah. In
that same time frame, or that 3-minute window, to finish Friday, tomorrow, is the 1,000-meter, I'm going to call this a sprint, row.
Yeah.
And this is going to be gnarly.
I mean, we know who's going to perform well in these. Obviously, the really long, tall athletes, especially with such a short time period. Like, there's no endurance aspect really here. It
Not
is go,
as
go,
much,
go. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking, you might finish this in less than 2 minutes, most people.
So that would be moving at a 500 pace of 1 minute. I think you could be pretty close. I think 2.5.
Yeah. 2 minutes is reaching a little bit, but
like 120, 115 pulls.
We know everyone on the field can go at 100% for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So this comes down to obviously the length.
But even Fran, and say like those really short 2.5 minute workouts, right? 3 minute workouts. There's like a break in transition. Not much, but it's like a breath or two. This will literally be nonstop from start to finish. There is no transition break. You're pulling and going the entire time. It's a little different than a Metcon that has even a couplet. A couplet, I'm talking 3 seconds, but just that moment to collect yourself and then keep going. You don't have that here. Does that factor into this 1,000-meter row?
I don't think so. I think people at that level, at the top of the game, they know how to breathe while they're working.
Right.
And you have that moment there in the row.
It's going to hurt, though, right?
It is going to hurt. Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, any sub 5 minute workout sucks.
Who are you leaning towards on this one?
Fikowski.
That Fikowski, 100%.
I mean, we know, yeah.
I think Fikowski has to do that, too, based on everything else.
Oh, for sure.
At this
He's
point,
going to take hits in the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, so far. But, man, there's so many other people that I could see. I mean, it's going to be a matter of a second or two, or seconds, right? Let's say Fikowski does win it. All Frazier's trying to do is top 10, top 7. I don't think he's trying to go win this one. But some of these guys are, and it's going to be a bloodbath. On the women's side,
I'm excited.
On the women's side, who stands out?
I think Briggs, for some reason. Maybe that's just because she's such an incredible runner.
I think it's Toomey.
Toomey?
I think Toomey takes this one, and
she's smaller. I mean, she's strong for her size,
she's not
but
smaller though. She's not like a Cara Saunders. Like,
yeah.
She's average to taller, really, than some of the girl athletes. Like Sarah, is that who you said earlier? Sigmund's daughter?
For what?
For this one?
I didn't say anyone.
I said who stands out for the girls.
Oh, I didn't say anyone yet.
Yes,
I said Briggs.
You
sorry.
said Briggs.
Yeah.
Sigmund's daughter, she's got the length, she's got the power. So that she's got potential there too. But you also have to factor in a little bit of the mental game of this, because there's a lot of CrossFitters that have the talent to do a 2.5 minute Fran, but they don't do a 2.5 minute Fran. And I think that kind of settles in the same boat here. That they have the capability, but do they have the mental, like, and you're also doing it in your box by yourself. And those other athletes are doing it in their box by themselves.
Yeah.
Cole Sager, Tim Paulson, all these guys, Travis Mayer, all got some pretty good length. Patrick Vellner, the people that I'm starting to cross off the list, Chandler Smith, Noah Olson, even Matt Frazier a little bit. But again, he puts himself back in the boat because of his mental power.
Yeah. On the women's side, no one really stands out to me. The closest that I have
Brooke
is
Wells?
Horvath, or I was going to say Wells, because she...
Barnhart?
Barnhart is a potential, yeah. Those are a few of the names that come to mind.
Carol Ann, I can't say her name, Thibault. She's a bit a taller athlete. A little bit.
Now, I mean, if depending, I'm curious to see how Saunders performs this weekend.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we know she's powerful.
Look, here's
she's
the thing.
small, but she's powerful.
She qualified for it.
Yeah.
So it's not to say she ain't. Maybe there's some technical stuff not quite there yet, but obviously the mental game and the go is there. So that wraps up Friday. And I think that's a jam-packed Friday, man. If you have anything to do on Friday, you need to cancel it and be watching the CrossFit Games. Now that's going to be followed up, and we're going to dive into Saturday. Now there's also one part of Saturday we don't know yet, and that is what they're calling Block 4. It was given a name called, was it Awful Annie, I believe? And we're going to take a stab at what we think it might be. But let's start off with Saturday morning, Nasty Nancy. This is going to start off at, again, the 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. To me, this is the most likely that we would have seen in the CrossFit Games if it was on location. To me, this kind of screams one of the most CrossFit-y workouts that you see over the weekend.
So this I didn't expect. I didn't expect to see any running because
it's hard to
judge. Like, you have to have access to a track. And I think that's one of the things they told the athletes was they asked them if they had access to a track. So,
They said you needed to have a 300-meter area to run.
Which this is more than that.
Right, so there's going to be some sort of shuttle to it.
Think
But
so?
it has to be. I mean, you can't run further, so you have to run back.
Yeah.
Well, so the shuttle is they needed a 300-meter run, right? So now you have to run out, 250 and then 250 back, right? So I don't know all the details that was given to the athletes there, but there's a run involved. We didn't. They had us stressed that we needed to do it. We needed to test it. And this is how they're going to do it. 5 rounds, 500 meters, 15 overhead squats, 15 bar facing burpees, 185 for the men, 125 for the women.
What's regular, Nancy? I don't think I've ever done it.
I think it's overhead squats and run. It's just 400-meter run and 15 overhead squats. I believe for 5 rounds, though. We did it. We had it programmed not too long ago.
I'm not as familiar with this workout.
Sorry,
Nancy.
what was that?
I'm not as familiar with Nancy. So I don't know. It's hard to judge. 185 is a lot for overhead squats. Of course. I mean, all of it's going to be heavy.
Yeah, last year in the games, they had the 185 snatch. And that was early on when they had the 100-something competitors still. So they're not afraid to go at it. And we saw the games athletes destroy it, okay, like the ones that moved on. We did see Vellner in the documentary fail some snatches, but it was a 185 snatch. You're going to get locked in overhead. For these guys, punching 275, 285 snatches, I don't think this is going to be – the deal breaker is going to be it's 5 rounds. Like, this is the big one. This is the big workout. Everything else is short, right? 1,000-meter row,
yeah.
Diane, Fran.
This is going to be the longer one.
Front squat. We haven't seen anything with any sort of distance. So no real endurance test, and now we get that stamina endurance test right here with, of course, very much CrossFit. You got to be able to run. I don't think you have to be able to run really fast. You got to be able to run consistent.
No, there's no way. You can't sprint that and then come in and do a 15. This is going to be slower pace than the other 2 workouts.
Yeah.
For sure.
Think about this, too.
I can't.
You finished the
even
round with
imagine this.
Yeah, you finished the round with burpees. And then you got to go run.
Yeah.
This is going to be...
I can't even imagine how bad this is going to be.
It's going to be interesting to watch, for
sure.
sure. 100%. And I think, again, it ties us back to the affiliates a little bit because it is very much CrossFit. I mean, if you change the weight a little bit, maybe the run down a little bit, this is a workout you do at the gym. But then they gave that extra little spice, and it's like, I don't want to do this workout at the gym.
It looks bad. My brain literally can't even process
you can't
this
even
one.
think
I
right
can't.
now.
I can't. It just looks bad.
Who stands out on the men's side
That's the
for
thing.
you?
I don't even know. I don't even know. I can't give you.
Matt Frazier's going to move that bar very well. Matt Frazier's going to do burpees very well, and we've seen him
run.
He consistently just run.
He runs.
I think, okay, we'd say, all right, he's at the top of the list again. Vikowski has a decent chance, but the longer athletes, again, are going to get hit a little bit.
Take a hit on the barbell. He'll be able to gain some lead on the run, but...
The bar-facing burpees is where I thought some of the longer athletes are going to... But it also slows everybody down, though. Say if they were lateral. Say if the burpees were lateral. Those short athletes would kill those. So I think they're getting a little favor here by making it bar-facing and making everyone pace out the burpee. So lucky for the longer athlete, everyone has to take that step, and you got longer legs. So that helps pan that out a little bit. Now, Noah Olson moves the barbell well.
I don't think he's a great
Chandler
runner.
Smith. Yeah, no, he's not, but you don't have to be on this one. You know who Goodmanson could do well here? He's had some good running workouts before.
He could do good here. Yeah. 185-pound athlete.
I just can't wait to honestly. I'm thinking about it more and more and more, and I want to see. I'd love to see them all do it together, but I still can't wait to see these workouts get performed.
Yeah. If this was if this was a normal games program you do, this would be so cool. This would be awesome.
I'd say it's lacking. I think it's lacking because it's at a gym, but it isn't. It's not terrible for even if it was just regular games.
No.
Women's side. Here's one, and we haven't talked about her, and I meant to mention it on the handstand one, but what about Danny Spiegel? She's gonna deadlift well.
I've never really paid attention to her in competition.
Just her Instagram account. She finished 18th in the world in the Open. Okay, so she's not just an Instagram model. She's definitely out there on social media, but she's strong. I don't know how she runs.
I feel like she's just like a well-rounded, like I don't know. I was thinking Briggs on this one too. I think Briggs is gonna crush this one. She's strong enough for the overhead squats. And
I don't know. That overhead squat she's gonna struggle a little bit there.
I think so.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not saying she's not gonna get it up.
Yeah.
But of course, I agree with you a little bit here because she's gonna run out the building.
And the burpees are gonna.
The burpees aren't gonna do much for her. It's just how is she going to handle the overhead squat?
Yeah.
And I'd like to look back at the games last year. How did she handle the snatch last year? Because it would have been pretty much the same flow. A lot of run. That had the rope climb, but that snatch.
Yeah. This is a tough one. This is just a tough one for me all around because my brain can't comprehend.
It's a longer workout. There's more room for error.
Yeah.
You know?
Like I have no idea. There's no time cap.
No.
There's no time cap.
Again, that could start eating into the rest of your day. Right? Because of the gap, the time frame. So after that, this one is one of the more interesting ones to me, honestly.
This is straight up muscle endurance.
Well, and to me, it's just this thing, like, did you practice this at all before the games?
I mean,
they're all good on their hands, like when they're walking, when they're moving. But I used to be really good at handstand walks, but handstand holds were not in the ballpark.
That's true, yeah.
It's different when you got to stay, and I think there's a square. So there's a 4x4 box there. They have to be within inside. The judge will start the time when both of the athletes' hands are placed inside the designated handstand area. Once both feet are off the ground. The event is over when the athlete touches or reaches beyond the border, or when the athlete's foot touches the ground.
So they have one chance.
Athletes will have 20 minutes from their declared start time to find their max hold.
So it's not like an accumulate. I thought it was an accumulation.
Athletes may make as many or as few attempts as they'd like. No. The athlete, so basically you get attempt after attempt. It's like a 1-rep max. It's for one hold. You don't get to accumulate it.
I'm a little sad about that. Yeah.
Really?
I thought it was an accumulation. If it was an accumulation of handstand hold over 20 minutes, that would be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, because then people are going to go after it for 20 minutes, but are you really getting the more technical athlete there? Probably not. Like, let's say you just keep popping up for 5 seconds, and you just keep doing it. I mean, you're not good at it, but you just kept going, and somebody that can hold for a minute and they come down for a while, honestly, that person that just keeps popping up for 5 seconds at a time probably surpasses them on time. And so, no, I think this is the right way to go about it, especially for it being something new, so we don't really know yet.
It is interesting. I didn't think about, like, how often do they practice holding?
Freestand hold. It's something people do at the gym for fun.
Yeah.
Do they train it, though?
No,
I'm not even going to dive into who I think is going to be best at here. A gymnastics background.
I got Wells and David's daughter.
Yeah. David's daughter.
She's good on her
She's
hands.
made some crazy saves on handstand stuff.
And then men, Olsen's a given. Who else we got?
I think it still fits that mold, CrossFit mold. But it does help some athletes that might be more specialists on the gymnastics side, for sure.
Yeah.
And no one's, the cool thing is no one's going to get cut by this or cut before this. Everyone's going to get a chance at it. I like that, And I think we're moving that way. It's pandemic year, but I don't think we'll see cuts like we did last year. So, talking about the last workout, which no one knows yet, but the name, Awful Annie.
What's Annie?
Annie is 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, double unders and ab mat sit-ups.
Oh, yeah. I think a GHD is involved.
I think 100% GHD is involved.
GHD
Okay, think about these other workouts. Damn Diane, Nancy. He added things to it. There was no burpees in Nancy. The run was 400, and now it's 500. The weight's heavier. And then think Diane. The rep scheme's a little bit changed. What was that? He did deficit and strict instead of just regular handstand push-ups.
How many reps is it total? 50, 90?
It's 90,
120?
150.
150?
Yeah.
I think it's 3 rounds, 50 reps. What was it? Double unders?
Double unders.
Double unders GHGs. Maybe the increase on the
So
some kind of increase on the difficulty of the double unders. Maybe it's a weighted rope or something.
Some people were talking about the list, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it on here, but they sent out a list of equipment that you need.
They did, yeah.
So people are trying to break this down. See if you can't find that. But I weirdly feel like they're throwing like a bar muscle up in here or a ring muscle. Could you go all the way through this test to get to the top 5 without doing a muscle up? We got a real difficult
Good point.
handstand. We
That's
got
a
a
good
real
point.
difficult handstand gymnastics. We got the chest to bars, which are a
Here
little
we go.
more
I found
advanced.
it. So yeah, GHD machine's on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a given. That it's going to be going to GHDs.
Is there a bike on there? Air assault bike?
No, there's a rower.
We already got that.
We got the
knocked out.
rower, jump rope.
Okay.
So the jump rope's staying. See, a squat rack. What would that be for?
Front squat.
squats.
Front squat. Yeah.
Pull-up bars, barbell collars. Yeah. Okay.
Spin them around on your finger.
Change plates, 1 pound minimum. That's. I mean, it might just be the GHD and the jump rope, unless it's bar muscle ups. Unless he throws in bar muscle.
You still got to be able to have the pull-up bar. I mean, I feel like you would have to have muscle ups. Now he could be saving that for the ranch, because you got to think the games is not over after Saturday. There's still got to be a lot of stuff to test over the weekend at the ranch in October. Yeah. But I feel like if you're trying to get to those 5 athletes, does a muscle up need to be in there?
Potentially.
Okay, so you're going with GHDs and double unders only?
Yeah, I'm thinking 3 rounds of 50. Maybe.
There's been no cleans either, right? No.
There's
really been no barbell except for deadlifts. Well, we got the overhead squats. No Olympic lifting, really. You had the Olympic lift to get to the overhead squat. Yeah. I don't know. I think there's going to be a third movement. I don't know what the red scheme is going to be. I do agree with the GHDs. I do agree with the double unders. I'm going to go on a limb and say there's going to be clean and jerks in there, like a Grace style.
Yeah. I think it's definitely going to be reformatted, the workout, like the other 3 were, where it's not a 21:59 or, it's not a chipper, is what this would be. So definitely going to see something like that happen, unless he just throws a curveball, and I'm completely wrong.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, awful Annie. I mean, we know the roots of that are midline and double unders. We're at a gym. You have to be in that gym and work out of that gym. So I kind of like the 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. But if you added that to GHDs and with a barbell, like 135, 50 clean and jerks, 40 clean and jerks, that would be devastating.
Yeah.
That would be devastating.
Yeah,
that's a little much. Maybe 10 per round.
If you think about it that way, like, is there going to be a third movement? Because whatever movement you do besides those 2 things is going to, I don't know.
Everything's been really short, too. I mean, we've got the one long one, that's the Nasty Nancy, and that's on that day. So could you do a second long one?
This one's going to be a longer one.
No.
Sure.
Annie's fast.
Really?
Becca's done Annie with GHDs. She's literally done it. And I'm saying, like, she's done it in like 7-8 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I guess I just suck.
Well, no, I mean,
no, I'm kidding.
She's really good at GHDs.
Yeah.
The first round, like, she's really good at double unders too. So 50 double unders takes you 30 seconds, and then now you're just sitting over there at the GHDs. Maybe it was 10 minutes. But still, if she's at 10 minutes or 12, games athletes are going to be 6, 7. It's going to be under 10 minutes.
I think 50 double unders, like if we're talking about that being the max, that's basically nothing for a games athlete.
Right.
So what if they did something
at a time?
Yeah, or it goes 100, 50, 80, 40, 60, 30, like that. So you double the double unders.
Oh, right. Oh, I get you. Yeah. I could see that with the GHDs.
With GHDs.
Yeah.
I
still think there might be a third movement that's like low rep count, like you got 10 bar muscle ups in between every round or something like that. But if not, I think that would be a good way to go.
The jump ropes are definitely getting increased now that I think about it.
Yeah.
50 is just too easy.
And even when you do that, you don't increase the time a whole lot.
No.
You just increase the intensity a little bit. Okay. Next segment. Still talking about the games. And now we're going to talk about who's going to be the top 5. This is going to be difficult. We've looked at the workouts now. We've even talked about who we thought's going to be pretty good. We've got to put 5 names up. And the reason we saw this on, you saw it on Instagram. let's see here. I'm going to pull that up for you. Yeah, so they had to guess the top 5, and it's like a challenge. I don't know. What are they giving away? $1,000 gift card and some signed nanos from Carrie Pierce. So that definitely raised our interest, and we wanted to give our top 5 athletes this weekend. So, number 1.
This is a wild card, I think, this year.
Well, so who won the Open? It was Pat Vellner, right?
Yeah,
but this isn't the Open.
But yeah, like Frazier doesn't care to win the Open.
No,
he doesn't. Like he's not ready when the Open comes around. He's still training. He doesn't want to be peaked at the Open. Right.
But it's an easy way for, if you're that good, to get already to the games, right? To qualify that way. So
did he even do the Open? I don't even see him in the top 10.
This is for the games.
Okay. I don't even remember the Open then.
This isn't.
I don't know what's going on.
No, I'm looking at the names here. So we've got to pick 5 male athletes and 5 women athletes that we think are going to move on to the ranch in October.
Okay,
Can we agree on Matt Frazier?
Yeah.
Not saying number 1. I'm just saying here's 5.
Who's that? Scott Tetlow? I think he's going for first this year.
Who?
I don't know.
5'3", 175 pounds.
Who is this guy?
Scott Tetlow.
Tetlow.
Tetlow. There's a T.
Go up, scroll up.
CrossFit.
He's never been to the games.
No, he's not. It's a rookie. He's made it to regionals twice back in the day. CrossFit Kilter. 5'3", 175. Obviously a gymnastics guy. And there's some stuff in here he could probably kill. His Fran time is 2 minutes. So Friendly Fran is going to be something he likes. Let's see, does he have deadlift? 495? He's got a decent deadlift. I'm curious, man. He runs pretty decent. I don't think he's making it to the games, though.
Well, yeah, he's at the games, is he not?
Sorry, I don't think he's making it to the range.
Yeah,
we're talking about
we
5.
got off topic. I just saw a name I didn't recognize.
Right.
So yeah, Frazier first. I mean, what are the odds that he doesn't win this year?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing. Then I got to go with Vellner, man.
I think Vellner does it. I think Vellner makes it.
He's gonna. Yeah, he got screwed last year. I think he's coming back hungry.
He fits decent. Think about the workouts.
I like Cole Sager. Wait, no. Wrong.
Why'd you get his? There's only one Sager.
No, wait. There's more Sagers, isn't there?
No, Cole Sager.
Who am I getting him confused with?
I have no clue.
Panchik. I was saying Panchik.
2 different guys.
I don't know how I got
Panchik
that.
could be a good option here.
But no. The older Panchik, he's not in individual anymore.
No.
It's the younger brother. Which he's good. He made it to the top 10 last year, didn't he? Saxon? No.
Saxon Panchik.
I think they both. Yeah, I think they both made it to the top 10. I can't remember. Yeah. So what did I say? Frazier and Vellner.
We got Frazier. We got Vellner. I got to throw Olsen in there. You don't agree though? I mean, Friendly Fran. I think he's going to do well enough on Diane for sure. Mm-mm. He's got two favorites right there, and Nancy. He's going to do well.
Yeah, he might get lucky.
Just because you don't like him, though. Again, you got to take your bias out of this.
No, I like him. He's decent.
You don't think he's making it, though? I got Vellner, Olsen, and Frazier right now.
Okay. Yeah. Scroll up. Let me see. I'll get my own list.
Okay. I'm going to say Chandler Smith.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think he's in the top 5. I'm debating whether or not he's a top 3 guy this year, but I feel like he can make it to the top 5 this year.
Top 5 is all that matters to get to the ranch. So I got Chandler Smith, and I have one other person that no one else is probably going to pick, but I'm going Roy Gamboa for my 5th. And I think he's going to have enough, he can get enough done early on. I think he's going to row fine. I think he's going to do well upside down. And I'm not real sure about the handstand hold, though, right? That could devastate some athletes. That's riding high and then flip the script.
I mean, you have 20 minutes.
That's true. But if you can't do it, you can't do it.
I mean, how is it going to work? Do they have a set time? Like, are they scheduled out? Because if you, like,
Once you
can
start,
you redo your workouts is what I'm saying.
no,
If you have 3 hours.
I don't know if you can. Maybe you can, but I don't know. I don't know if that matters a whole lot, though, if you can't do it very well.
Yeah.
So,
I think Hepner's a strong one, too. Hepner's a strong candidate for top 5.
yeah.
And Gudmundsson.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Gudmundsson's good.
it's crazy to think you got to knock it down to 5 athletes.
Yeah, it's hard.
Man.
It's hard. And chances are, I mean, we're not going to come close
Yeah.
to picking the top 5. But I know Gudmundsson's, he's good. He did perform really well last year. Yeah.
That's a tough one. Let's look at ladies.
Okay. First place, I'm going with.
Tia?
I might be able to do it, dude.
You? Nope.
I can't.
Nope.
Yeah. So Tia, I got. Who else I got? I got Barnhart.
Really?
I think. Yeah.
Amanda
She
Barnhart.
she impressed me last year. With the clean event.
Yeah.
Going toe to toe with Toomey. Scroll down a little bit. I see Horvath, but she's been getting injured so much. That's the
Yeah.
only thing. Like, given she's in good condition, get nice and healthy, she could make it. But I mean, she's always getting injured lately. What was it? Just at Dubai, she had an injury and had to back out. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, where's Thor's daughter? Is she not going? Or is she not competing?
Talking about Annie?
Yeah.
No, she didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I have a hard time putting my money on Sigmund's daughter and not Thor's daughter, David's daughter.
I'm actually going to say I think Katrin Davis' daughter makes it top 5. I think with the programming,
I will put $20 on it. No, what did I say? I will bet money that David's daughter doesn't make it to the top 5.
All right, how much?
$20.
$20. There's a Olympian Project bet for the weekend. Katrin Davis' daughter
God, what the?
makes it. He says she doesn't make it.
Yeah. But so yeah, I got.
So you
I think
got a
Wells-
Barnhart.
Wells is a good.
Oh,
good candidate.
from Ben Bergeron's camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not what you usually would go
Let's
with.
just start over, dude. Let's start the podcast.
We've got a mic down. A mic down.
It fell off the brace.
You kept grabbing it so hard.
I just play with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was I saying? Toomey, Barnhart, Wells.
Mm-hmm.
Haley Adams is out. I don't think she's making. Carrie Pierce maybe.
Yeah.
She has some good workouts coming.
Yeah.
And she did good last year. Wait,
Yeah.
what's your top 5?
Tia Toomey. I got Davis' daughter. I think Carrie Pierce. I think
You're a Pierce.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon. I think she's gonna have some good workouts in here. And Horvath has got an option, I think, but I'm gonna say
With the injuries,
I'm gonna go with Saunders as a 4th. And my dark horse,
I want to.
my dark horse is going to be Melina Rodriguez from
Do you
Argentina.
even know who that is?
Yeah, no, I've
okay.
looked up a little bit on her, and she's improved every year. Now, this is a different year. How did everybody handle this? She's not been in the limelight before. A lot of these athletes have, and this is not how it goes for these limelight athletes. This is the year, I think, some people that are used to, dogging it out, basically, and not being talked about, have a chance, because this is how they train anyway. They just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Frazier, Tia Toomey, they were on a schedule. This is throwing a loop in there.
Yeah.
It might throw them off their game a little bit and open up some points for some other athletes.
I definitely feel more confident about my men's list than my women's list. But yeah,
It's weird you have a list of men and women.
that's what the point of this podcast is. So
I thought you
we're
were talking about
both
that
weird.
list that was in your pocket.
That's a different list.
Okay, guys.
Weird note to end it on.
That is so awesome, weirdly awesome, not. Whoa. What did you do? You wanted to see Scott Tetlow again? You really got something about this guy.
Didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah. That's going to wrap it up on this episode. We're going to be coming back next week, obviously.
Talking about what happened. I think we plan on maybe doing a wrap-up show, talking about it before the podcast next week. Maybe on Monday.
Sunday we'll be talking about what we saw over the weekend. Obviously, who's going, who we think is going to be a strong candidate to take over the full, victory of the games.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough one.
Who got left out and why? Yeah. That's all going to be on.
Why it was David's daughter.
Yeah, well, we'll also see him transfer $20 on this side of the table on Sunday. So I'm excited about being able to eat. That's going to wrap it up for this Olympian Project. Make sure that you like and subscribe to keep up with all the information of the games and any other content that we've got. Gary, always a pleasure.
Let's end this. This is awkward. Pleasure, sir. Good pal, buddy. Yep. Okay.
Why does your hand feel like a dead fish?
That's why. That's a weird analogy. Why is that the first thing that popped into your head?
Because it's what it felt like.
A dead fish.
No.
Okay.
Cold and clammy and dead and lifeless.
Okay. See you guys next week.